It has been sunk. Oh no, there's a war.
Boom.
The cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Ah, the economy. This is a disaster.
Boom.
Metropolis. We're all sad and we can't even. Boom. Nosferatu. The Last Laugh. Mr. Maboose and his gambling addiction or something like that. Classical classics. All just boom, boom, boom. Out of nowhere. Economic chaos who? Not us. Well, yeah, it was the Germans, but it's the freaking German film industry we're talking about here. My name is Rowan Henderson. I'm going to be going over the German Expressionist style. So it's the 1920s, and Germany's just vibing after the war. And then someone thinks, I don't know, it's time to make a art revolution? Modernism, maybe? Oh my goodness, it's beautiful, but what is it exactly? What kind of movements would such a thing contain?
Cubism. Boom.
Oh, that's pretty cool and neat, but...
Surrealism.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Futurism. Constructivism and...
Expressionism, that's the one. That's what we're doing. Express yourself. Love yourself. So there's these expressionist dudes, right? And they see realism and they're like, no. Psh. And they're like, you know what this needs more of? Needs more of that. Nice. I'm talking extreme distortion, okay? It's not a phase, I'm just expressing my inner emotional reality. I'm talking large, bright, unrealistic colors and shapes and bright cartoon-like outlines. I'm talking horse-looking, elongated, grotesque faces just because that's how everybody feels. Kumbaya, my love. That wasn't enough for the expressionist artists. Oh, no. They looked at buildings and they thought, you know what this building needs more of? It needs more angles. More angles, more sharp. How else are we supposed to be in defiance of traditional perspectives? I can't think of any ways. And this then led to the sets like we see on the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, where it's all like... So more on that whole German film industry. Okay, so things were popping in the industry because money was broken, and cheap money equals cheap films equals competition. So dumb Hollywood, just trying to live its life, having a meal with its wife and kids, when it hears a knock at the door, goes there. Who is it? It's UFA and Babelsberg Studio, ready to beat up Hollywood because they can do it cheaper. UFA was killing it, both literally and in that handy metaphor, which I just gave you for free, by the way, of Hollywood getting beat up. So they were pumping out these historical like spectacles, and they humbly called them colossal film. So Ernest Lubitsch, right? He saw this. Okay, so moving on to Expressionist Mise-en-Scene. Scene? Mise-en-Scene. You have been mise-en-spotted. So everything's distorted and exaggerated, like in the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which we see here. Exhibit A. The stylized settings, okay, they're conveying the character's emotions. Costumes, makeup, acting, all exaggerated too. They were just going all in expressionism, camera and editing. I won't lie, it wasn't as important, you know, it wasn't the focus. They weren't focusing on it. There was limited editing. They had longer takes so that you could absorb what was going on. The colossal amazement in front of you. You have to absorb that somehow. So they did that through limited editing and limited camera work. It was unobtrusive. That's a good word, unobtrusive. Okay, lighting was normally pretty even, pretty... You know, there might have been a little cheeky bit of chiaroscuro lighting, like in Nosferatu. You know, that's allowed. We'll allow it. Okay, so narratives and themes, they decided, you know, let's take all of the things from our traditional literature of German Romanticism. Am I right? Am I right, boys? Should we do that? And they were like, yeah, we should do that. That sounds good. You get these journeys to the past and fantasy and horror. Oops, looks like we just made an authority figure that threatens the freedom of the individual and society. I'm speaking to you, Robo Maria. Oh, and sometimes they'd even put stories inside a story. Like a narrator would be telling someone a story from the past, which was unheard of at the time. This was revolutionary. So that's your whistle-stop tour of German Expressionism. Thank you to the Unseen Screen for letting me create this. If you want to support them, subscribe. You should do that. Film's cool. And before I go, I want to finish up by saying, if that was you on the phone and you on the bus, who was flickering the lights?
Nosferatu!